Sir, start record. So, hello Harshita, good morning. Myself CMA Mahinder Saini, and I welcome you once a Smart Classes YouTube mock test series. And I have with me CMA Suresh Poddar sir. So, welcome you in this. So, Harshita, firstly tell me about yourself without repeating your name.
Okay. So thank you, sir, for giving me opportunity to introduce myself. I have recently qualified cost and management accountant with All India rank 40, and I have graduated from MDSU University, Ajmer. I am born and brought up in Gulabpura, Rajasthan. I have decent score throughout my academics. Now, talking about my experience, I have my working experience in the field of auditing and taxation of various industries, the various sectors like manufacturing, education sector, and even in the research sector. That was a PSU. And like apart from my professional life, I am a person who love riding bicycle, doing meditation, and my articleship period have gave me a lesson that we should deliver good. We should constantly learn new technologies and deliver exceptional results to your client just to grow in your career. And just to start my day and manage my day well, I start my day with a yoga and some guided meditation.
Good. So, Harshita, just to mention in your introduction that in the training period you try to give your exceptional results to the concern to the company, right? So, what type of the result you gave this exceptional like?
As I mentioned, that we should constantly learn, as nowadays each and every law is getting amended. Every day some other circulars are coming, some other case laws are coming. So we should update our knowledge on the daily basis, so that we can we should be aware about all the changes. So if we would be delivering any services to our client, that would be in a good manner, that would be in a better manner, like not only theoretically but technically also we should develop ourselves day by day.
Okay, you mentioned in your CV, I can see you're saving checking and financial accuracy of annual reports to the clients. So, what type of the accuracy you check and what the the tools, any tools you use to do this?
Yes. As I was working in the PwC, so in PwC I was working on the US based client. So in that case, we use different software, like there is Aura, there is
Mm,
Workday, there are
mm.
different software that we use. So in that, basically we need to check the financial accuracy through the trial balance. They would give us the trial balance, and they would give us a particular account balance, that suppose trade receivable is this much, and they would tell this trade receivable contain this much codes. So we need to check that financial accuracy from the data that is provided in the trial balance, and through that we will update all our calculations and all the analysis that we are doing now. We would be updating that in a Aura. There is a spreadsheet,
Mm.
like there is a Excel type spreadsheet. In that we can put various formulas for analyzing the data. There is a standard format for each and everything in that Aura. So we need to feed basically our data in that Aura, and that would give us the desired result that we want.
Okay, so you work in training period also on taxation part, right? So you mentioned that
Yes.
you also work in the audit, GST audit, etc. So my question is,
Yes.
what do you mean by the QRMP scheme in GST?
Okay. QRMP scheme is the recently launched scheme by the government of India, that is quarterly return and monthly payment.
Hmm.
In that case, this was introduced to give relief to the small taxpayer. Like they need to pay their GST amount monthly, but for the sake of convenience, they can file their return on the quarterly basis.
Okay. So any limit in this?
So as far as I remember, the limit for this is 5 crore rupees.
Are you sure?
In this limit, I am not sure about this.
Okay. Okay. What about e-invoices in GST and what the current provision about this?
Yeah, so currently, the government has introduced the provision of e-invoices. In that, we need to create an invoice through a government portal that has been prescribed by the government recently. if I talk about the present situation is if a supplier's turnover is more than 10 crores, that we need to issue a e-invoice. But recently there is a one more change that would be applicable from 1st of January 2023. In that case, if a supplier's turnover is more than 5 crore, then also in that case he need to issue a e-invoice.
So threshold limit 5 crore at present?
No, currently the threshold limit is 10 crore,
10
and
crore.
from 1st of January 2023, the threshold limit would be decreased and it would be 5 crores.
Why this, the government brought this concept? Any reason specific from you?
Sir, the very good reason behind this is like government need to track a big B2B transaction. So in that case, what would be happening? If entity would be hiding that in their GSTR1 now, so through e-invoicing, all the invoices that are uploaded on e-invoice, that would directly be that would auto populated in my GSTR1. So this is the very good benefit of this e-invoicing concept that the government is planning to implement in the future.
Okay, what is accruals in accounting? Accruals?
Accruals. So accruals is something for which the entity has done payment to me, but I need to deliver the service to them.
Okay, anything more?
Accruals come under the liability head of the balance sheet.
What is hedging? What is hedging?
Hedging is basically used as an instrument, a financial instrument. Like whenever we are facing some risk or there is a scope of risk, so then we can hedge. Then we can hedge the risk through some instrument. Like if I need to, I can take an example. Like if I need to pay to outside party in a dollar, so in that case, I would be buying a forward contract today only, so that if the prices would be increasing in the future, I would not need to pay the higher prices. Rather, I would be paying the prices on which the contract is made by me on the on today's date.
Okay, which accounting standard apply on this hedging?
Accounting standard 109, financial instrument.
Okay, sir, go ahead.
Hello, Harshita. First of all, congratulations for All India Rank 40.
Thank you, sir.
I'm also a ranker in CMA final. So my first question is, your CV mentioned that you done statutory and tax audit for various clients.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
what
sir.
is the threshold limit for tax audit to a concern who have 100% digital transaction?
Okay, so sir, in that case, the threshold limit is 10 crores.
Okay.
And even if the transaction of the digital transaction are 95% of their total turnover, then also the limit would be 10 crores.
Okay. 10 crore or more?
10 crore or more.
If an organization have exactly turnover of 10 crore, then he is liable to tax audit or not?
No. It is 10 crore and more.
Exceeding 10 crore, I think, right? You want to say?
So when so in that case, it would be if a particular firm is having a turnover of 10 crore, then it is not mandatory for them for the tax audit, because it is exceeding 10 crore or more. Exceeding 10 crore. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. What are the main provisions you used while preparing a tax audit report?
So basically in tax audit report, I was working on the unsecured loan parts and the TDS parts. So in the unsecured loan, we used to check that whether what are the terms of the unsecured loan, whether they are the relative or not, a related party or not. In that case, we even used to check the interest calculation, and on the interest calculation, whether they have deducted a TDS amount or not, if it is exceeding the threshold limit. So this was the basic things that we need to consider in the unsecured loan. And even the transactions are not done in the cash, and the 20,000 is the daily limit, and even the 2 lakh limit for section 269 STT would also be considered in this, that whether it is not exceeding that. And we can even check that the unsecured loans are given only to those parties that is beneficial for the business. It would not be that we are borrowing at the 10% and we are lending to someone at the 5%. So this business business concepts also we need to consider, or we can report on this concept also by doing the tax audit of unsecured loans part. And like TDS part, I has mentioned that whether there is a short deduction of the TDS or not. And even if we have received the certificate, some parties give us that you should deduct a short certificate that is issued by, that is given by the other party. So we need to even check that if the party has given that, so in that case the short deduction is okay. Otherwise we'll report them, then what's the reason of the short deduction, or why they have not deducted the TDS. If they have not deducted the TDS on any amount, then that would be disallowed. 30% of that expenditure would be disallowed under the Income Tax Act, and we need to report it in the tax audit report. And we need to even check the payment, that whether they have done the payment of they have filed proper returns of the TDS quarterly, and the monthly payments they have done for the TDS.
Okay. Recently, a new clause is added, clause 44 in tax audit report.
Yes,
You
yes,
hear
sir.
about this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, definitely. Sir, in the clause 44, now the government is asking us that they need a expenditure, they need a bifurcation of the expenditure GST wise. Like if there is a maintenance expenses, so how much you have incurred the maintenance expenses, and on that what's the amount of the GST.
Oh, very good.
Like expenses wise, they need the expenses by bifurcation of each and everything along with the GST amount. But if they are registered in GST, then along with the GST amount. If they are not, then also we need to mention that this party is not registered in the GST.
Okay. What is deferred tax?
Sir, deferred tax. It is like in deferred tax there are two parts: deferred tax assets and deferred tax liability. So can I explain it in the brief, or can I give even the example?
Keep it summarized.
Okay. So like if I talk about any asset item, like if I talk about the plant, and first of all, deferred tax is like it is a timing difference. If there is a timing difference between the Income Tax Act and the company's law, then there is definitely a timing difference due to which a tax amount may vary. So in that case, even whether I would be recognizing it as a deferred tax asset, or whether I would be recognizing as a deferred tax liability. Now the question comes, when I would be recognizing it as a deferred tax asset. So in that case, if it is an asset item, I would be seeing that the carrying amount of that is more than the book value. Carrying amount is more than the book value. So in that case, it would be deferred tax liability. And if the carrying amount is less, then it would be the deferred tax asset. Same way, if I'll be seeing the liability item, in that case, if the carrying amount is more than the book value, then I would be recognizing it a deferred tax asset. And if the carrying amount would be the less, then it would be a deferred tax liability.
Okay. Recently, the government introduced taxation of cryptocurrency
Yes,
in
sir.
recent budget. So can you tell me about some provision related to this?
Sir, actually government doesn't mention a particular word cryptocurrency. They mention a word digital asset. They introduce a new word, that is a digital asset. So they introduce a taxation on that it would be now legal in India to trade or to do transactions through cryptocurrency. No, not trade, just a transaction in the cryptocurrency, but that would be attracting a 30% of tax rate. It's a fixed slab rate. There is no deduction, there is nothing. Whatever would be your profit, you need to just pay a flat 30 rate tax on that.
Okay. In which Finance Act this provision is inserted?
To Finance Act 2021.
Sure. Are you
Yes,
sure?
sir.
Finance Act 2021.
Sorry. Finance Act 2022. Sorry, sir.
Okay, that's okay. What is diluted EPS?
Diluted EPS. So one is a normal EPS and second is a diluted EPS. In diluted EPS, we would be giving the effect for the potential, like what would be the future. Like there would be a situation that we know today that I would be issuing more shares. There would be a further issuable earnings or further issuable shares. So in that case, I would be considering the future effect of the shares and earnings on my today's earning. I would be adjusting it, and then I would be giving that this would be the future. The diluted EPS can also be termed as a future EPS that I am going to pay to my shareholders after adjusting all the events that I know today at present.
Any example for potential shares, issue of potential shares?
So there is a situation, employees ESOPs.
Yeah. Right.
So like that, and in earnings also there would be increase. If I know, see, I am going through a lease agreement right now, so I know that would be ending, that would not be going on further, like fifth year, I'm standing on the fifth year and that's the last of my lease. So in that case the lease payment would not be coming, so that would be increasing my earnings. So that also I would be considering in my earnings. And the shares which I would be issuing, ESOPs, that also weighted average I would be considering in my number of shares, and then I would be calculating the dilute EPS.
Well, okay, Harshita, I will get back to you after, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Sir, you are not audible.
Okay, Harshita, are you familiar to any ERP? Have you worked on any ERP?
Sir, I was working, I have not an entries on ERP. Actually, in auditing, we just need to see like what is the process. So I was just having a view only access of the ERP, a ERP that was customized by the own organization. It was like from Microsoft. So I have been, familiar with that ERP.
Can you tell me what is case BEP? Case break-even point?
Sorry, sir, can you please repeat it?
Case BEP, case break-even point.
No, sir, I'm not aware about this right now.
Okay, what about your knowledge regarding the index?
Sir, India's, I have been working in with the listed organization, so I don't have much knowledge about the India's, but I have a limited working proficiency in the India's, especially in India's 115.
Okay, for depreciation, which index you will use?
So for depreciation, India 16 PPE, property, plant and equipment.
Okay, what is index regarding 110?
110. So it is also financial instrument.
Okay, what about 132? Sorry, 103?
So 103 is business combination.
109?
109 is consolidated financial statements.
Okay, then 110?
So I think I'm confused between 110 and 119.
Okay, tell me one thing, right? That in the recently any global news, do you have any recently any global news? Any two global news?
Yes, so recently, like India, the Prime Minister have recently introduced a Gati Shakti project. So basically the Gati Shakti project has been introduced to like shift a manufacturing hub from China to India.
Regarding any taxation news? Regarding any taxation news recently?
Regarding any taxation, so I have been aware that the recent bill which is would be coming, Finance Act 2023, the government is considering to reduce the slab rate. Like presently the government is running on the 2 slab basis. Like if we have an option to choose between 2 slab rates, but
Any
government is
idea
now
news regarding the today?
the ITR news also is that like there are various, like there are ITR 1, ITR 2, there various form for the ITR. So government is planning to remove, not exactly remove, they would be just keeping ITR 1 and ITR 4 for the salaried and presumptive person. Otherwise they are simplifying this process so that people don't confuse between different ITR. They would be just requiring to fill the whatever details they are having, they would be filling that, and automatically it would be directing to the for the assessment and calculation and all.
Okay, what
This
is
is the
current
news.
repo rate? Sorry, what is current repo rate?
Current repo rate, it's 5.4.
Okay, then CRR?
No, sir, I'm not aware about the CRR.
You're
I need
not
to go
aware.
through this once.
Okay. Okay, I'm giving a situational question, right? Just listen to carefully and give your decision, whatever, right? Suppose that a project manager in your company, right? And you just completed your project successfully in the last 1 year, right? And meanwhile, you also allocated a new project which you need to complete in coming 3 quarters, and of which also 2 quarter has gone, but you complete only 30% of the project, right? Meanwhile, you are getting a mail from your management side, right? So there's a two part of the mail. In the first part of the mail, right, you are getting the appreciation mail to you and your team that you done well in the last project. But in the second mail, there's a red line, right? And there's warning mail that Mr. that project manager, you just completed 30% and you have already passed the 2 quarter. So how will you handle this work, right? And how will you tackle? So being a project manager, you have to reply to both mail to your management as well as your team. So how will you handle? How will you get it done in the timeline?
Okay. So like you mentioned that first project I have completed within the timeline with all the, better resources that was available to me. So that was appreciation for me. So I'll definitely, let my team members know that this is not the my individual efforts. This all the team members' efforts that we have completed a project successfully. And like you mentioned that the second project I am only able to complete a part of it, and a substantial time has been over. So in that case, I'll plan the things right now. Ki whether there is something from there is something wrong from my or my team side, or there is a lack of resources or some unavoidable reason through which I'm not able to complete the project on time. So me and my team would be sitting and analyzing the situation, that what's the reason behind the delay of that project. If the reason is that we are there is a lack of resources, or there is something that can be controllable from my or my team end, so we would be improving on that. And if there
But
is something,
knowing such a large in the last stage that we do not have the resources, we don't have the lack of knowledge. But why are you doing this time? You can that analysis this in the initial stage, but you do not have time to analyze. You do not have time to tackle your team because the only 1 quarter is left, and the 70% is pending still.
sir, but I think that as you mentioned, 70% project is left. But I think if I'll get a proper team and if I'll manage them properly, so in that time also I can complete the 70%. That's not a big deal. If there would be good team working, good coordination among the people, that would not be a big deal. But I would be knowing exactly. I should know the reason behind that. Now, what's the reason behind that? If that the reason is not beyond, not controllable, sometimes there would be a market situation like this through which I would not be able to complete that project. So the reason can be anything. So first of all, my task would be to analyze the reason. If I'll get a particular reason, so that I can work on it.
Okay, sir. Any question from your side?
Yes, sir. As you are a cost and management accountant, I would want to ask you, what are the regulated sectors in cost audit?
So as per section 148 of the Companies Act 2013, rule 2 has defined a schedule in rule 3. Schedule A has defined some of the regulated sector. So one of the regulated sector that I am remembering is defense, electricity. Right now I can't recall anymore. And the schedule
what is the applicability? What is the limit for applicability of cost audit to the regulated sector?
Okay, so in that case, there are two partitions. Like there are two schedules, Schedule A and Schedule B. So if my if I'm covered under Schedule A, so I would be saying that my turnover is more than of the Schedule A product is more than 25 crore rupees. So in that, and my overall turnover is more than 50 crore rupees from all the goods and services, then my cost audit would be applicable. And if I would be covering under the Schedule B products, then I would be saying that my turnover from the Schedule B products is more than 35 crore rupees, and overall turnover would be more than 100 crore rupees.
What is Schedule A and B?
So Schedule A is the regulated products and Schedule B is a non-regulated products.
Okay. So you are saying if you are dealing in regulated product, then the turnover of regulated sector should be 25 crore or more, and overall turnover should be 50 crore or more.
50 crores or more, yes.
In the current year or preceding year?
In the preceding year.
In the preceding year. Okay. And what is the tenure of cost auditor?
So there is no such tenure prescribed by the law for the cost auditor.
Right.
But there is no such tenure prescribed by the for the cost auditor. But as a good corporate governance practice, we would after 5 years or after 4 cost periods, we would be changing the cost auditor.
Cost auditor. Okay.
Yeah,
Is
this is a sign of a good corporate governance policy.
Okay. Is there any cooling period for cost auditor?
No, sir. As I said, in law there is no such limit that the cost auditor can be appointed for a particular duration. So there is no cooling limit.
Okay. Which form is used for cost audit report?
CRA 3.
CRA 3.
Yes.
Okay. And what is the time limit for submitting audit report?
180 days from the end of the financial year.
180 days from the end of the financial year. Okay. Right. So you mentioned in your CV in taxation part that you are performing ratio analysis for P&L and balance sheet in the tax audit and statutory audit. Okay. So can you tell me about debt equity ratio?
Yeah, debt equity ratio is like how much short term debt we are having in our overall balance sheet, that is debt upon equity.
Short term debt.
As compared to equity, how much debt we are holding at a particular point of time at the year end. Basically we calculate it as a year end or a particular periodic we can calculate.
Okay, we include short term debts or long term debts or both?
We only take short term debts.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. It's done from my side.
Harshita, no, what do you mean by the GRN? What is GRN in accounting?
So GRN is goods received note that has been whenever we receive the goods from outside, then a GRN is issued by a store department.
Okay, so what will be the journal entry?
So for GRN,
will storekeeper will do the journal entry for this?
Goods receive account debit to inventory.
So you are credit to inventory. It means you are giving the inventory to anyone.
No. Sorry, it would be goods. It would be inventory account debit to GRN.
Okay, what will be
then
impact?
It would be.
Okay, good.
Impact would be like we would be creating an inventory, and then we would be doing a second entry GRN account debit to whatever from whomsoever we have purchased, like to XYZ party.
Okay, so what is three-way match?
So three-way match is we need to verify thing from 3 point of view.
Okay.
So like that would be a PO, like we would be verifying it from a PO, we would be verifying it from a GRN, and we would be verifying it from an invoice. Okay. We would be verifying like quantity, what I have ordered from the PO, like whether it is matching from the PO. All the three documents should be matching with each other. There would not be difference between them, and if there is a difference, then we would be investigate that why such differences are there.
Okay, you are a team leader, right? And you have the team of the 5 to 10 members in the invoice processing team, right? Okay. Now you want to circulate the information or the SOP to your team to process the invoice, right? So while processing the invoice, tell me any 3 points which the team need to verify before processing an invoice. Any 3 important criteria?
Okay, so sir, first criteria that I would be looking for is that the date of my PO and the date of my invoice. Always the date of the PO should be earlier than the date of my invoice. The first criteria I would be telling them is for the date criteria. The second criteria that I would be telling them is the name of the party. Like sometimes the name in the party of the PO is different and the invoice is from the different party. So the second would be checking the name of the party from which we are purchasing the goods. And the third thing I would be telling them is the quantity and the amount at which the goods are purchased.
Anything more which will be important?
Anything more? So this is the thing that this is the thing I would be telling them to reconcile with PO and the invoice. Otherwise, I would be telling them like in invoice they need to check the rate of the taxes, that whether the rate of the taxes has been put properly or not, because sometimes there would be an error from the other party also.
Okay, what is shipping bill to address?
Shipping bill. So sometimes there can be a situation that I am buying goods I'm buying goods, uh, but I'm sending the goods to someone else. So in that case, like if I'm buying goods from you, so in that case, you would be putting I have instructed you, I have told you that don't ship goods to me directly, send goods to a third party. So in that case, billing address would be the my address, and the shipping address would be the third party address from which I have done the contract.
Okay, so for one customer, billing address and shipping address cannot be same, cannot be different, right?
Yes, sir. If like sir, if I'm purchasing goods from you directly, so in that
Okay.
case, my the billing address and the shipping address would be same. But in the very different casely, I'm instructing you to send goods to someone else on my behalf. In that case, billing and shipping address would be different. Otherwise, always the billing and the shipping address is same.
Okay, good. So, Arshita, how will you define to yourself in one word?
So if I need to define myself in a word, I would define myself as an organized person and a responsible person.
Okay. So, what type of responsibility you took in the last time?
So last time, like during my articleship phase also, I was initially like within 7 to 8 months, I was leading the people of the 5 people in my team. Like they were my juniors, so I was leading them whenever they used to face any doubt or any difficulty. Not even in the office work, even in the studies work, as we need to maintain a proper balance between our studies and our office work. So they would definitely come to me and ask to me. So as a as an as an elder experienced person, and I used to always guide them ki you should do this way. Or
Okay, Arshita, suppose that you're a team leader, right? And you have only two employee as your subordinate, me and Suresh, sir, right? And we are both, you have only two team member, right? Me and Suresh, sir. And you have the lot of workload, right? And that one day, the me and Suresh sir quarrel to take anything, right? And we are totally, disturbs each other. And you come to know that I'm not coming to office, right? Due to this happening. So how will you handle this case?
so first of all, I need to understand the point from your view also, and Suresh sir. So I would personally go, personally meet you and personally meet Suresh sir to understand that why the reason of the quarrel. It may be different from your side and it may be different from Suresh sir's side. So I'll
There's a
understand
bias.
both.
There's a bias from your side that you are giving the much work to me, but not to him. So this is the
So,
reason.
if this would be the reason, so I'll tell them ki let me know whenever I'm doing such things. Let me bring that thing to my notice, so that maybe because of the work pressure, I may be doing that, because we sometimes due to work pressure, we ourselves don't know that we are giving more work to someone else or less work to someone else. So I would telling ki, rather than telling afterwards, at that point of time only, let me know that whenever I'm doing such things, and I'll try to improve myself if there would be anything that can be improved or that would be wrong from my end. And I would be talking to both of you personally, and then I would be taking you both together and talking to you ki, actually what is the matter between you both. Maybe there would be a difference between point of understandings.
Okay, thank you so much, Arshita. Do you want something asked to us?
So I would be asking like, what would be one piece of advice that you would like to give me as I'm starting my career as a professional?
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity if we want to learn. So we have the different type of the segment in our company. So we have the open opportunity to you. So if you are really part of our company, that you will definitely get your and you will satisfy your point.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, Harshita, be loyal to your company and your work at all the times. This one is advice from my side.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So anything else that I need to improve?
Yeah.
What you have,
Can
you both
you
have
stop this
observed.
recording?
Sir,